Hey, boys. So, sorry for the appearance this morning, but it is the morning, and I woke up not that long ago, and I haven't done anything. I made some coffee and jumped on LinkedIn, and it brought me to question myself, right? And that question is, am I a libertarian? And I think I am not. I don't think that I am. But the more I say I'm not a libertarian, but the more I say that, the more I begin to question myself. And I've come to a realization that I might be. And I don't want to be. And yeah, John Stossel is cool. Judge, what was it? Andrew Napolitano. He was pretty cool, right? I guess. So, Penn Jillette was pretty cool. Stuff like that. The Penn and Teller bullshit show was pretty cool. I think they're libertarians, right? But by and large, I think that government services are pretty good. I think there should be a safety net. I think that a lot of safety nets should be expanded. So it is what it is. So, because it's Saturday and I'm still a little sleepy, we're going to find out if I'm a libertarian. So, we're going to watch a couple of videos and react to them and see if I'm a libertarian or not. And again, I don't think I am. I have a lot of conservative views. I have a lot of liberal views. So, one of my biggest liberal views is universal health care. I think that people shouldn't go bankrupt if they get sick. I think keeping someone alive is a pretty good policy. I think if someone gets cancer, they shouldn't have to drain all their life savings or fight with their insurance company to stay alive. That's just me. I don't know. So, what does this have to do with customer experience? Shut up. That's what it has to do with customer experience. What's wrong with you? All right, let's get into it. Watch this jump cut. All right. So I found this video. What the fuck? I need to have more coffee. It's called Libertarianism in 6 Minutes. So let's see. Let's see what libertarianism even is. All right. In 6 minutes. So this might be an overly simplified thing. So I don't know, bro.
What we've been taught in our schools is that we live in a free country. But when you stop to think about it, we really don't. How so? If we don't do certain things like pay taxes, we'll be sent to jail. If we do other certain things that harm no one, like smoke weed in the wrong state, guess what? We'll be sent to jail. This is where the idea of libertarianism comes into
Shit.
play. But first, a quick and simple history. Like most modern ideas, this one came about during the 17th century and was meant to cure the unfairness that has plagued our world since the very beginning. You see, during this time, people began to get sick of being poor while making rich people richer. What I mean by this is that most people at this time were ruled by some sort of lord and paid their lords with work and taxes in the form of money, food, supplies, and whatever they were making. A man named Thomas Paine said, for example, that there are two distinct...
All right. So I do like Thomas Paine. Like a lot. He's one of my favorite founding fathers. It's like Paine and Jefferson. Yeah.
Classes of men in the nation: those who pay taxes and those who receive and live upon the taxes. So the idea of libertarianism really came about just like the ideas of socialism and capitalism. It was a way to figure out how to make things fair, and in a nutshell, it's that you get to keep what you earn instead of giving a portion of it to others. Now, just like socialism and capitalism, there are hundreds of different thoughts and ideas about how to best practice this. But for the sake of this video, we're going to look at what it means in the United States. In fact, in most other parts of the world, the term is more closely related to socialism, while here in the US, it's more closely related to the term free market capitalism. The exact meaning of libertarianism is to liberate or to defend freedom. And it is based on the assumption that there is a natural harmony between productive people, and that it's only when the government intervenes, takes a portion of what we earn, and hands out rewards.
The IRS is a skinhead. Never knew that. So, I wonder if he likes the business. I like the business. I bet he listens to Last Resort. Actually, he kind of looks like he listens to Screwdriver. Fucking IRS.
Where we begin to get into conflict. Think about it like this. Libertarians believe in this idea called the non-aggressive principle, or NAP for short. This means that any law that a government makes should not be a law that coerces people into following its rules if those rules don't apply to protecting other people's natural rights. An example of a violation of this is taxes. Why? Because like I said before, if you don't pay your taxes, you go to jail. In other words, the government is coercing you to pay up, and if you don't, there are some pretty severe consequences. Sounds pretty aggressive, right? In terms of economic policy, libertarians favor the freedom of the economy to do what it wants, rather than regulate it with coercive laws. This means removing all but the most necessary taxes to make a society work. Libertarians want to get rid of Social Security, welfare, etc., while just having the bare necessities like a police force, firefighters, and whatever else you need to create a functioning society. In terms of social policy, it favors the idea that you can
tax-funded stripper clubs. That would be neat. Okay. So, sorry for the cough. I think I need some coffee. Okay. So, taxes, right? Now, like I said before, universal health care should be one of the things that taxes go towards, right? Things like roads. I know that's the classic, what libertarians make fun of. But who would pay for the roads? That kind of thing, right? But here's the thing. Why not just have consumption taxes as opposed to income taxes? Because think about it. Right now we have both, right? We get paid, right? We make money. We go to work, right? We do our thing. And I'm talking about W-2s right now, right? People on W-2s, hourly and salaried employees for a company. We get taxes taken out for income tax, right? And Social Security and other things too, which we probably won't even receive. It's fine. It is what it is. Shut up. All right. And then when we go to spend that money, we pay taxes. Yeah. So we're like being double charged here for taxes. And I know if you make under a certain amount, or if you have a lot of deductions, or you find some loopholes, you get some of that money back at the end of the year, which means that the government miscalculated how much they were taking and was like, oops, sorry, here's a percentage back. Sorry about that. But or you owe taxes at the end of the year, because it is what it is, I guess. So I am in favor of getting rid of the income tax, right? And just have a consumption or a sales tax, period. And I don't think we need to raise the sales tax any either. I think there's enough, right? Especially once people stop having to pay income taxes, they'll have more discretionary money to spend on things they can consume. The only things I don't agree with a consumption tax on are things like groceries. I don't think food, water should be taxed. Boom. Right? That's annoying. And And here's another controversial opinion coming from an American. Tax should be included on the price of the item on the shelf. There shouldn't have to be a surprise or additional math on the part of the consumer. Should be like, oh, wow, this is $9.99. Cool, I have a $10 bill I will spend to get this item. You get to the register, oh, this is $11.32. I thought it was $9.99, bro. Tax. Why not just include that on the price? That's stupid. That's dumb. What are we doing? Oh yeah, let's watch the rest of the video.
Basically do whatever it is you want to do as long as you are not violating another person's natural rights. For example, the government shouldn't be able to regulate your choices in life like smoking weed or marrying a person of the same sex. And as far as who we should punish and put into jail, simple. Anyone who violates the rights of another individual, like murderers, rapists, and thieves. So this all sounds pretty straightforward, but you may ask yourself why it hasn't caught on to the mainstream public. There are a number of reasons. One simply being that the Democrats and Republicans literally own the Commission on Presidential Debates. This means that they basically get to choose who gets to debate during a presidential candidacy. And why would a Republican or a Democrat want more competition? But there are other reasons too. First, there is yet to be a country that has tried to implement this idea of libertarianism. You'd think that if it was such a good idea that at least one country would have tried it. Second, many critics say that it sounds like a good idea, but they wonder how it would work practically. Meaning, if businesses were no longer regulated, how would monopolies stop from being formed? Or when people are too old to work and have little savings or expensive healthcare bills, how could they live comfortably in retirement? Third,
yeah, that's the part that gets me, right? So, why give corporations more power? They already have enough, bro. Why do we want to give them more? Jesus. Right? And I know. There's a huge difference between free market capitalism and corporatism, right? But where do you draw the line? Once someone gets a large amount of money, right? What's to stop them from buying all the companies around them, eliminating all the competition, and just becoming the place, right? I mean, yeah, we already have that happening, but like, it is what it is. And then they just buy off politicians so the laws aren't enforced and blah, 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 blah. So maybe they address that in this video. I don't know. I chose this video at random, mostly because of the thumbnail.
libertarianism in the US is basically founded on this idea of the non-aggressive principle. The problem with this is that many economists believe that having a non-regulated free market economy is a system that creates aggressive coercion all by itself.
Yeah.
How? Simple, and here's one example. It doesn't address the conflict between property owners and renters. If there is no governmental regulation to people's property rights or property owners' rights, then one day you might wake up and say to yourself that you aren't going to pay the rent this month because your landlord just raised it 50%. Of course, the property owner isn't going to allow that and will use some sort of, most likely aggressive coercion to get their rent. Fourth, there is an assumption in libertarian
Raising rent by 50% is fucking crazy. Just pointing that out there. Many such cases.
that economic growth also grows the happiness of people. But this assumption hasn't been proven with science. This is called the Easterlin paradox, named after a guy who studied this kind of stuff and found that during a great period of economic expansion in the US between 1946 and 1970, there was no increase in happiness. Fifth, there are environmental criticisms because if we don't regulate our businesses, there is no clear way to make sure they make environmentally responsible decisions.
Well, technically, wouldn't that violate the NAP, right? The non-aggressive policy? Because, like, if they're polluting, right, and if they're dumping stuff into the ocean or rivers or throwing smoke up into the air, wouldn't that be violating people's rights to, not die?
In response, libertarians often say that people wouldn't purchase products from businesses that are
Nope. No, no, no. People would, because people would go towards the cheapest products, which are usually made by either borderline slave labor or very toxic, polluting companies, right? That's been proven again and again.
Unethical. But the fact is that we already do. Libertarianism seems like a great idea. It's all about providing the maximum amount of freedom to the individual while protecting their individual rights. But the question still remains about how to best implement a system like this in a way that would protect the freedom and the rights of every individual. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, hit the like button below, and share this mother.
So yeah, some decent things in that video, I guess. Some decent arguments for libertarianism. Some arguments against it, which is nice. Pretty balanced, non-biased video. The non-aggressive principle is nice, the nap. So, and you know, I like money. We should hang out. So, I don't know. Am I a libertarian? No. Do I have libertarian values? Yeah. I think most people do. Right? I think most people do have some libertarianism in them. Like, I don't give a shit about who people marry as long as both are consenting adults. And I don't care about any of that stuff, right? I don't care, honestly, if people smoke weed. I don't do it myself, but I don't care if you do it in the privacy of your own home. The only time I have an issue with it is if it's in public, because honestly it smells, right? And the same argument can be made against people who are smoking cigarettes in public, right? It doesn't smell as bad, but it does smell bad, right? And I don't think people should go as far as banning smoking in public, like Burbank, California has. I think that's dumb, right? I think that someone having to smell something kind of bad for a couple of seconds is worth the freedom that you have to do that in public, right? So it is what it is. Like I said, I am against income taxes. I think they should be replaced with consumption tax. I don't know. Am I a libertarian? You know what? I don't know. Let's find out. All right. So here is the world's smallest political quiz. Where do you stand politically? Let's take the quiz. Let's take the classic version. I don't like being a beta tester for shit. All right. That's not true. I do. Oh, that didn't do anything. Okay. Let's take the quiz. Okay. Personal issues. Government should not censor speech, press, media, or internet. I 100% agree with this. I am a free speech absolutist. There we go. Military service should be voluntary. There should be no draft. I agree with that. There should be no laws regarding sex between consenting adults. I agree with that. Repeal laws prohibiting adult possession and use of drugs. I am maybe on that. No, you know what? I disagree with that. All right. Government should not target, detain, or deport undocumented workers. Maybe. All right. Economic issues. Taxpayers should not be responsible for student loan debt. I agree with that. You know who I think should be responsible for it? The universities and the fucking loan companies. I think what they did to an entire generation was evil and predatory. And they got the public school system and the government in on it, which is a direct argument against libertarianism. So, government should not be responsible for providing healthcare. I disagree with that. Let people control their own retirement. Privatize Social Security. No. Replace government Welfare with private charity? No. Cut taxes and government spending by 50% or more? Yes. Which label? I don't know. Moderate? Okay. Which statement most closely aligns with your view on government? We need to drastically reduce the government because it does more harm than good. We need the government to level the playing field to lift up the marginalized. We need a pragmatic, compromising, and balanced government that benefits the most people. We need the government to provide law and order to protect and benefit citizens. A strong government is necessary to protect people, promote unity, and prevent chaos. Who wants to prevent chaos? Probably. I mean, does the government do any good right now? Our government? No. Let's see. Yeah, that one. Calculate my results. What am I? Yeah. I'm a moderate. All right. I knew that. So, personal issues, I'm a 70, right? I'm guessing, yeah, out of 100. And economic score, 40. Let's see. Oh. Oh. Oh, I am in the majority. I don't like that. Let's see. So, yeah. Your type is moderate. Moderates tend to prefer a middle ground. Regarding the use of coercion and government control, whether control of the economy or of personal behavior, depending on the issue, you think government intervention can be justified based on pragmatic considerations. You tend to pride yourself on keeping an open mind and opposing political extremes. Instead, you emphasize what you regard as practical state solutions to social problems. Yeah, sorry for believing in a safety net. Sorry for believing in not bankrupting someone because they get cancer. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Alright, so that's what I am. I guess I'm not a libertarian. Oh man, I was hoping. And then, maybe I'll go vegan. So I'll be that vegan libertarian guy that never shuts up about animal rights and, politics. So, alright, now back to your regularly scheduled program.